Bayo stood up at the crossroads, his heart pounding in his chest. The misty path that led back to his village was familiar, comforting, but the other path, shrouded in darkness and misery, pulled at him with an unseen force. The night bird, now glowing softly in his shoulder, looked at him with eyes full of wisdom and sadness. Bayo knew that turning back meant safety, but it also meant leaving the night bird and the spirit in their sorrow. He couldn't do that, not after all he had seen. With a deep breath, Bayo took a step forward, choosing the unknown path. The ground beneath his feet felt cold, and the air was thick with whispers as if the spirits were urging him to go back. But Bayo's resolve was strong. He knew that to truly help the night bird, he had to face whatever lay ahead. As he walked, the darkness around him deepened. The trees on either side twisted into strange shapes, their branches reaching out like doors. Bayo clutched his flute, ready to play if the spirit attacked. But instead of spirit, he heard a soft, sorrowful melody in the distance. It was the same song the night bird had sung in his village. Bayo followed the sound, letting it guide him deeper into the forest. The path led to a wide, empty clearing where a single ancient tree stood in the center. Its bark was gray and cracked, and its branches were bare. Beneath the tree, Bayo saw a figure sitting with its back to him. The figure was small, almost like a child, and it was humming the same sad tune. Bayo approached slowly, his heart racing. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice trembling. The figure turned around, revealing a young girl with deep, sorrowful eyes. Her skin was pale, almost translucent, and her hair flowed like a river of shadows. Bayo felt a chill run his spine. There was something deeply uncertain about her. "I am the spirit of lost souls," the girl said, her voice soft and haunting. "I guard the souls of those who are trapped in this world, unable to move." Bayo's grip on his flute tightened. "Why are you singing the night bird's song?" The spirit of lost souls smiled slightly. "Because it is the song of sorrow, the song of those who cannot find peace. The night bird was once like me, a lost soul, until it found its way to your world. But it can never truly be free as long as the sorrow remains." Bayo felt a wave of sadness wash over him. How can I help? How can I free the night bird? The girl's eyes darkened. "To free the night bird, you must first free me. You must take my place under the ancient tree, where the roots hold the sorrow of countless souls. Only then can I find peace, and only then will the night bird truly be free." Bayo's heart sank. The task was more dangerous than he had imagined. He didn't want to be trapped in the spirit world, but he also couldn't leave the night bird in its sorrow. He took a deep breath and looked into the girl's eyes. "I will do it," he said, his voice steady. The spirit of lost souls nodded and stood up, half form fading into the mist. "Then take your place and remember, once you are bound to the tree, you must play your flute. The music will guide the souls to their rest. Bayo walked slowly to the ancient tree and sat down at its base. The roots felt cold and heavy against his back. He lifted his flute to his lips and began to play, a soft, mournful melody that echoed through the clearing. As he played, the air around him grew colder and the ground beneath him began to tremble. Suddenly, shadows emerged from the mist, swirling around him like a dark storm. Bayo's heart raced, but he kept playing, pouring all his own emotions into the music. The shadows closed in, but instead of attacking, they began to dissolve into the air, their sorrowful whispers fading away like the music. The more Bayo played, the lighter the air became, and the ancient tree seemed to pulse with energy. He could feel the weight of sorrows lifting, one by one, as the souls found their peace. But as his last shadow faded, Bayo felt something else, an overwhelming sense of loneliness, and if all the souls had left him behind. He stopped playing, his hands trembling. The clearing was silent now, the mist gone, and the air was warm and clear. The ancient tree's bark had turned a healthy brown, and its branches were full of green leaves. But Bayo felt a deep emptiness inside. He was still bound to the tree, still trapped in the spirit world. The night bird, now glowing brighter than ever, flew down from the branches and landed beside him. It looked at him with sad, understanding eyes. You have filled the souls, but in doing so, you have taken on their sorrow. The night bird said softly, but do not despair. There is still hope. Bayo looked at the bird, his eyes filled with tears. What can I do? How can I return home? The night bird spread its wings, the glow intensifying. There is one last task you must complete. You must journey to the heart of the spirit world, where the great tree of life stands. Only there can you release the sorrow and return to your world. Bayo nodded, wiping his tears. He wasn't ready to give up. Not yet. He stood up, feeling the weight of the sorrows pressing down on him. But he knew he had to keep going. The night bird took to the air, leading the way through the forest. The journey to the heart of the spirit world was long and perilous. The deeper they went, the darker the forest became. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, their eyes glowing with hunger, but none dared to approach Bayo as long as he had the night bird by his side. As they neared the heart, the ground began to shake and the trees around them twisted into unnatural shapes. The air was thick with tension, and Bayo could feel the sorrow within him glowing, stronger, threatening to overwhelm him. But he pushed on, determined to see the task through. Finally, they arrived at the heart of the spirit world, where the great tree of life stood tall and majestic. Its branches stretched up into the sky, allowing with soft golden light. The tree's roots were deep and ancient, pulsing with the energy of the spirit world. Bayo approached the tree, feeling a strange mixture of fear and hope. The night bird landed on a branch, watching him closely. To release the sorrow, you must play your flute once more, the night bird instructed. But this time, you must play it with all your heart, with all love and courage you have. Bayo nodded and lifted his flute to his lips. He began to play a melody that started softly but quickly grew into intensity. The music echoed through the clearing, resonating with the great tree of life. As Bayo played, the sorrow within him began to pour out, flowing into the tree's root. The ground trembled and the air cracked with energy. The tree glowed brighter, and the sorrow that had weighed Bayo down began to lift. He could feel the heaviness leaving his body, replaced by a sense of lightness and peace. But just as the last note of the melody faded, the ground beneath Bayo suddenly split open, and a dark, swirling vortex appeared. The sorrow that had been released into the tree was now pouring out, threatening to consume everything in its path. Bayo's heart raced as he tried to escape, but the vortex pulled him in, its force too strong to resist. The night bird cried out, trying to reach him, but it was too late. Bayo was swallowed by the darkness, his flute slipping from his grasp as he was pulled into the abyss. The world around him spun wildly, and Bayo felt as though he was falling through endless darkness. He closed his eyes, bracing himself for the worst, when suddenly everything stopped. The darkness faded, and Bayo found himself standing in a strange, otherworldly place. The air was thick with mist, and the ground beneath him was soft and spongy. Bayo looked around, trying to make sense of his surroundings. He was no longer in the spirit world, but he wasn't in his village either. This place was different, darker, and more dangerous. As he took a step forward, the ground shook, and a deep, rumbling voice echoed through the mist. "Who dares enters my domain?" Bayo froze, his heart pounding in his chest. He couldn't see where the voice was coming from, but he could feel its presence all around him, powerful and menacing. "I am Bayo," he stammered, trying to keep his voice steady. "I was trying to help the night bird, but now I'm lost. Please, can you help me?" The voice rumbled again, this time with a hint of amusement. "Help you? Why would I help a mere boy who meddles in the affairs of the spirit?" Bayo swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the situation pressing down on him. "I didn't want them to cause any trouble. I just wanted to free the night bird and bring peace to the spirits. Please, I need to find my way home." The mist around him began to swirl, and Bayo could feel the presence drawing closer. "Home?" the voice echoed. "There is no home for you now, boy. You are in my domain, the realm of shadows, where lost souls wander for eternity." Bayo's heart sank. The realm of the shadow? He had heard stories about this place, a dark and twisted world where the most dangerous spirit roamed. He had never imagined he would end up here. But he couldn't give up, not yet. Taking a deep breath, Bayo stood tall, determination burning in his eyes. If I'm the realm of the shadows, then I will find a way out. I won't be trapped here forever. The voice laughed, a deep, booming sound that echoed through the mist. We shall see, boy. We shall see. Bayo knew he had to be careful. The realm of shadows was filled with dangers he could barely comprehend. But he also knew that if he wanted to survive, he had to keep moving. The night bird had shown him the way before, and now he has to trust his instincts. Bayo knew he had to be careful. The realm of the shadows was filled with dangers he could barely comprehend. But he also knew that if he wanted to survive, he had to keep moving. The night bird had shown him the way before, and now he had to trust his own instinct. With a final glance around, Bayo began to walk, his footsteps echoing through the mist. The journey ahead would be long and perilous, but he was ready to face whatever challenge the realm of the shadows had in store for him. And so, with courage in his heart and a fierce determination to find his way home, Bayo ventured deeper into the unknown, his story far from over.